It's coming. Live now?
Beautiful.
Do you see we're live now? Yes, we are live. We are live. Yellow, 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 everyone. This is not Tuga Tuesdays. This is Monday Night Soccer Special Edition with the guys from long ball football. We're gonna do a game preview for the Porto game. There's just ahead of us in what is it? 2:15. We said what is it? 3:15. 3:15 Eastern time. The Albert, what time is it in the UK? What time is it? We got about 8 something.
10 to 8. 10 to 8. I'm nearly ready for bed, man. This is a late
What?
night.
What? Are you kidding me? Come on,
I'm
man. Come
joking.
on.
No, I'm looking forward to a good game this evening. Perfect time for us, Europeans, we love evening football. It's just got a different feel to it. When you play with the floodlights and everything, it's
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's good. It's good.
It's special. And it's
Yeah.
a shame. I'm gonna take your word now. Okay, today I wanna send an invitation and extend an invitation to Albert here from Long Ball Football because we're gonna I wanna ask you a special favor here to stay up
Mm.
late one night because we do two Tuesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm sorry, what time is it over there? You got 7:30? Is 7:45 or something? Is it
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You are what 5 hours ahead, right?
yeah.
So one night, one Wednesday early morning for you. You know, get your coffee, get your monster going. Maybe you can join us for one night, maybe. Is that okay?
It would be a pleasure. I mean, I'd have to work it out with my work, so I'm not going into work on 2 hours sleep. But maybe, hey, how about this? Here's an idea. You could do a late night version for you, and I'll just get up early.
Oh, all right. We can do that. We can do that. Maybe
Yeah.
so it's 5 hours, right? Maybe we can
Well,
do a midnight show. Oh, that'll be cool.
yeah.
That'll be cool.
There you go.
Midnight show. I think it will work out for both of us.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we are getting ready for this massive game for Porto. This is a tricky game. It's complicated. The Lobos de Aruca. My God, they're running the table. They're in fantastic form with the special participation from the front three, the Habla Español with Jason, Rafa, and Cristo Gonzalez. And
Mhm.
Albert, give me your thoughts. What do you think about this game for Porto?
Well, it's one of those. On paper, it should be a. I'm not going to say easy game, but Porto are a team with great players, great resources, resources which dwarf Aruca's, by a long way. So, on paper, this is really a game that Porto should win. Although we would have said that last weekend about Porto versus Rio Ave, and look what happened there. So, these games are never won
Give
on
me 1 second,
paper.
Albert. Albert, give me one
Sure.
second. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep. Yep.
You want me to go? You want to? No, I'm just doing the sound check for the game. Give me 1 second. So, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Everything good? Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're live here from the Aruca Municipal Aruca Stadium with this clash between Aruca and Porto, round 21 of the Primera Liga. Look at who's on the comments. This guy right here, Matt. Matthew. He's man. He's a follower. Yeah, I think when I want to
Nice.
send something special to him.
Hi, Matt.
Guys,
Oh,
can you
nice
hear
one,
me
Matt.
good?
Yeah, Matt follows us. I know Matt. Nice one.
Lenzo, ¿qué fue? Yellow, yellow. Sorry, Albert. Give me 1 second.
All good, man. I quite like this. It's almost like a glimpse behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're doing that now. You usually do the sound check first
Mm,
because we send the signal from South America to the world. So
nice.
this is how we test all the signals from Sport TV. We get the signal from Sport TV, then we distribute everything to the states and everywhere else. Hey, ¿qué fue? Elon? No, I think we're good.
Nice.
Okay. Is it? Yeah, I think we're good. We're good. If we're not, then let me know. All right, Albert. Sorry, I'm sorry. I cut you off. So
No,
the
good.
Aruca Wolves. What do you say? What do you say, man?
Um, I think it's
Wait,
going to
can you?
be. I mean, like I was saying. I mean, Aruka have had such an interesting season, right? Because last season was a really good year for them. Um, they overachieved. They qualified for the Europa Conference League. They were the kind of equipe sensação, shall we say? There's that sort of team that took everyone by surprise, lost a few key players in the summer, and then had a really, really tough start to the season. They had a very disappointing Europa Conference League qualifying campaign, which ended badly, and they never recovered from it. Daniel Ramos, who was the manager, took over from
Right.
Armando Evangelista. Really good manager. I like Daniel Ramos a lot. He's
Yeah,
I've seen him do
absolutely.
well at clubs, and I thought it was a good fit. For whatever reason, it didn't happen, and now they have is it Daniel Souza? They have a new young manager who
Right.
he's a positive manager, attacking manager. He's kind of young and has fresh ideas, and it seems to be going really well. And I think we're starting to see the potential that Aruka had, because me and Barney every season we do on the Long Ball Football Podcast, we do a preview show before the whole season, and we look at what
All
every team is like set up for. And the one thing we said about Aruka was that um, they looked almost in a better place than last season when they achieved so much, and we were quite optimistic. And I think we're now starting to see in the last couple of months that potential
because
with some of the great players.
because
You mentioned them.
the at the beginning of the season, boy, it was a struggle.
It was
It
a
was a
struggle. It
struggle
was.
for Aroca, and especially for me because I have Nacho Rabarrena, my goalie
Yeah,
on my fantasy team, and I have Rafa Mujica also. So none of them
yeah,
were doing good. I was dropping points like crazy. I was just about to sell him, but I didn't. I talked to my guys, and there you go. It's paying up now, getting nice points. I'm climbing up on the
yeah.
standings, and I'm so
Nice.
happy, man. I'm so happy. Now, with Porto,
Mm,
how do I say this? Uh, they're scoring a lot of goals lately, right? Three a pop, the
yeah,
three goals apiece in the last 3 4 rounds. But and then they went to the scoreless draw. It took everything down. It's like a it went down the drain. All the hype that it was built because everybody was feeling okay. Finally, all right, this 4-3-3 is working now. Evan Nilsson
mm,
is feeling comfortable to playing as a lone striker, not needing Taremi. I don't care about Taremi. Taremi's in the Asian Cup. I don't know if he's going to return or not. We don't know, right? And then this nail going dry again, going into the gray areas with expecting more from. I love this duet, by the way, from Varela and Nico Gonzalez. Everybody's asking for Eustachio, but I think that duet, that double pivot is working just
yeah,
perfect for Porto, and Pepe is feeling comfortable also playing behind the nine. And
mm,
that was the decision. I think the decision that is changing the season around for Porto. With taking having the balls. I'm saying it, having the balls, because I said this on YouTube. I cannot say this on air on YouTube, on Gold TV. Having the balls to put his on and being careless about whatever everybody says, because by the way, he is the dynamo for Porto.
mm.
Without Chico Conceição in the offense, it would have been so boring the season for Porto. But is it gonna be enough for Porto
Yeah.
to catch up on the Lisbon Giants that they were just flying so high, man?
Yeah, I mean, the thing everyone is talking about with Porto is Mediterranean, and about how this kind of strange situation they're in now, where he's this talisman for Porto. He's been so good. He's such a legend at that club. But this season has been difficult for Taremi. It's been difficult for Porto. And the elephant in the room, well, not really elephant in the room, but the thing that people have been talking about is that when he's been away for the Asian Cup, they've improved. And the fact that Mediterranean being away and unavailable has forced Sergio Conceição into some changes that have actually been very positive. So it's a strange situation where they're looking, well, until the Rio Ave draw, they were looking in the best form of the season so far. But you sense that it was almost Sergio Conceição wasn't in a way that Sergio Conceição wanted. But you're so right to point out a few of those things, like Pepe playing in the 10 role, which he's been so good at. I'm looking at the lineup on my phone now, so I'm not looking at Facebook. I'm looking at the lineup. But it's
All right.
it's a great lineup. It's a really strong lineup. Evan Nilsson up front, and Evan Nilsson, who has often been in the shadow of Taremi and has been forced into playing two up front because we know Sergio Conceição likes to play two strikers. He can't do that anymore. So Evan Nilsson's up front on his own, and he's done really well. He's scored goals. He's playing Chico Conceição on the wing. I really like that. I think Chico Conceição, since he's come back from Ajax, has been really, really positive influence on the Porto team. He plays with a kind of a fearlessness that I really love. Really creative player, the sort of player who doesn't hesitate to attack or doesn't hesitate to take on a player, a defender. He just does it. They've got, like you said, that double pivot in the middle, Nico Gonzalez, Alan Varela. That's a really good central midfield pairing. So it's a funny one. Until the Rio Ave game last week, I probably would have told you this was Porto's best moment of the season
Right.
in terms of their form. I think the key thing for them now is if they'd had a good start to the season, maybe you could brush off that Rio Ave result and say, listen, it happens. 0-0s happen. Sometimes a team's just going to be able to grind out a result against you. Every team is going to have those games. The fact that they've had such a difficult start to the season means that every negative result now is amplified. It's more kind of, it's seen as more of a big deal. So this game, I think, is going to be really important for Porto to show that they are back on form and that the result against Rio Ave was just a one-off, as it's allowed to be. Not every team is going to win every game 4-0. So I think it's set up to be a really exciting game. Like I read out a few of the players from the Porto lineup, some really exciting players. Aruca player have got some great players as well, especially like you said, those Spanish guys. So I think it's set up to be a really interesting game. I think first 20 minutes of this game is going to be so important because I think it's going to be if Porto can score in the first 15-20 minutes, that will give them a great confidence boost. But if Aruca can shut them out, can frustrate them, can get some chances of their own in that early stage, then do the doubts come in? Do the Porto players start to get nervous? Does Conceição start to get stressed and let that stress come onto the field? So I think it's not going to be as straightforward as it could be, but I think for our benefit, probably it's going to make it a little bit more exciting.
I think it's this game is gonna take the dramatic route. And what I mean by that is that I don't think Porto is gonna score early. I don't think they're gonna do it. Right? It's gonna take them a while. And actually, I think that Aroca is gonna be the one that kicks off the night, and then Porto is gonna score late in the first half, and then it's gonna be like a 2-1 or 3-2 late night into the game. That's the way I see this game happening, because of how high it is pressing Aroca during times. It's gonna be more complicated for Porto because the way that Porto doesn't build up that fast. They're not that vertical. All right.
Yeah.
If you push them back against the wall, I mean, the Pepe starts to just send long balls here, long balls there, bypassing the midfield, and that's when Aruca is going to capitalize that game. That's going to suit perfectly for Aruca, and that's why I've said this is going to be dramatic. It's going to be an exciting Monday night soccer game here on Gold TV, and I'm predicting it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be at least 2.5, 2.5 the minimum, I would say. I can say this here because I cannot say it on air because guys, put your bets on it. If you're gonna bet on this, bet on that. If you're gonna put a bet on it, I'm gonna say 2.5 goals and Porto dramatic late goal from I don't know, Evan Nilsson or something like that.
That would be great, man.
That's how I see this game happening. Because despite all the hype from Aroca, the hierarchy of Porto is going to show up, and they're going because they know that if they drop points here, I mean, I'm talking about just maybe a draw. I'm going to say it's over. What are you talking about? There's 13 laps remaining. It's going to be over. It's going to be over. Okay, so I don't care what they say because I know, my friend Eric Gomez and Mike D'Agostino, they're saying never count Porto out, never count them out. I know, but this season is different. It feels different because the lead that Benfica and Sporting are having now. They're more solid. That the 10-point gap from a couple of seasons, 8-point gap, 9-point gaps, they were there, but then Porto overcame those gaps. That there were long distances, but now it cost them twice as much to climb back 2 3 points, and that's why
Mm.
I'm saying that this is a crucial. I don't understand, a pivotal match for Porto. Para it's gonna be so influential down the road on this title race that right now is a race up to. What do you say, Albert?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think the one thing Porto can hold on to is that Braga haven't been great, and so there's not much pressure coming from behind at the moment. They're 5 points clear of Braga. They've got a game in hand, so I don't think they need to worry too much about slipping further back down the table. And looking at the table now, they are 7 points behind Sporting and Benfica. So if they win tonight, they take that down to 4 points. I believe they still have to play both of those teams in the second half of the season. So there will be opportunities to gain more points. I think the situation they're in at the moment is that, unfortunately, if they are going to be part of a title race, it's not really in their hands because of the poor start to the season that they have. So they're in a position where, essentially what they have to do is just focus on every game by game, focus on cutting out the mistakes, cutting out the slip ups, winning games like this, which, let's face it, are winnable games for a team like Porto. And if they do that over the next, say, 5 to 10 games, then they can look at the season with 3 4 games to go and think, okay, well, maybe we're 3 points behind, there's a chance, and then they can start thinking about it. But for now, I think they are really still dealing with the mess left behind by the poor start to the season that they have had, which is actually, on the face of it now, is not too bad. Like I said, they're well ahead of
Right.
Braga comfortably, and they can look at it in a positive way. A good win today, a confidence building win today, puts that Rio Ave draw behind them. It continues that good form. It puts them 4 points behind the top two, and I think that's pretty much as much as they
That's
can ask
it.
for at this point in the season. Yeah.
Albert, I got that Matt saying that his prediction is 2-1 for Porto. What is your prediction? I want to hear you. Don't tell me this, that. I want to hear numbers. I want to hear numbers. I want to hear names from you. Come on.
Nina, people can accuse you of a lot of things, but I have never hidden away from a prediction. I'm more than happy
All
to give a
right. All
prediction.
right. I love it. I love it.
I feel good. I feel good about Porto. I think they will. I think they will kick on from that Rio Ave draw. I think they'll score. I think it will be 3-1 probably, and I think they'll score. I think they'll score. I think they'll score 2 goals in the first half. I think Evan Nilsson will score, and I think it will be. I think it will be a good game for Porto. I mean, Aruka. Anyone who's listened to the Long Ball Football podcast knows I'm a big sympathizer of Aruka. I do love that team, and I would love to back them. But I think there's a big gulf in ability between these two teams, and I think there's a lot of good players on the pitch for Porto tonight, so I feel good about them. 3-1.
I'm gonna say that if this is my if, right? If the front three of Aruca is on fire, they're gonna win. But if they are not that hot, I don't think they will win. All right, because they need the front three on absolute fire to face this Porto side, and they done it before, but they didn't do it against Benfica. They didn't do it against the big guys. So that's the easy part of this offense from Aroca. My buddy here from Asunción is saying that he said that Porto will be in third place this season. Sporting is very strong, and Benfica have a better squad. That's I guess that's the most common opinion right now across the board. My dear friend Albert, I wanna leave you now because in a couple of minutes we're going live here on Gold TV. I really appreciate coming up to the
My
show,
pleasure.
and we'll talk to the guys tomorrow about that late night show of Two Good
Yeah.
Tuesdays to have you in. All right,
Great. All right. Have a good game.
all right. Thank you guys. Bye bye.
See you later.